And once again, Scotland has taken a terrible battering today, and even in the next few hours, I think the north of Scotland will continue to be buffeted by winds of over 100 miles an hour. And this is the way things have been this morning. Kirkwall, for instance, in Orkney, 122 miles an hour. On the top of Cairngorm, almost 150 miles an hour. So some really strong winds indeed. It was the sort of sting in the tail of this particular area of low pressure. That little piece of cloud, as it swung across the north of Scotland, really squeezed those winds and gave some, well, violent storm force conditions, to say the least. We also have a cold front working its way down across the country at the moment. Not much weather on it, but it is bringing back those cold winds and those blizzard conditions once again to the highlands of Scotland. Very windy, as you see, of course, at the moment, and those winds slowly easing down during the rest of today and through the night. In fact, falling fairly light in southern areas, but they remain quite strong across the north, just about gale force. Now, the weather in Aviemore, for instance, and many other northern parts of Scotland have been very interesting the last few days. On Friday, it was bitterly cold with snow. By last night, the temperature had risen to 11 degrees, and it was raining and the snow thawing away rapidly. There have been localised flooding this morning. And then almost back to square one again at the moment, with blizzard conditions coming in and those temperatures dropping right back. And that sets the scene for a pretty unsettled week, I think. A lot of showers, as you see here on the radar. A little bit of rain clearing away from the southeast. It is going to be that southeastern half of England where it remains fairly cloudy this afternoon, but the clouds thinning all the while. A little bit of hazy sunshine coming through, perhaps except near to the south coast and more particularly in the southeast. And then those showers packing into northern areas, carried across by those very strong winds, and they'll turn more and more wintry, and there'll be blizzard conditions over those Scottish hills before very long. And one or two showers coming into northern and western parts of England and Wales as well. Now, it is going to be turning colder, feeling particularly cold in the north this afternoon. Still those showers affecting northern and some western areas throughout the evening and overnight, but with clearing skies inland, if you get a bit of shelter, you might end up just with a touch of frost. Now we have another little frontal system coming in from the west for later on tomorrow. For central and eastern areas, starting off dry, bright, some sunshine, showers in the west, and those showers working their way right across the country during the course of the second part of the day. On Tuesday, more weather fronts, more areas of low pressure, masses of isobars. So it sets the scene for a bright start, and then wet and windy weather sweeping in from the west, the rain heaviest in northern and western areas. But it will be turning mild once again. On Wednesday, we get rid of one set of fronts, and we find some more coming in, and still loads of isobars across the country, so it is going to continue to be very windy and pretty unsettled, to say the least, after sort of a bright start with showery bursts of rain, some more persistent rain moving across during the course of the day. And for the latter part of the week, we stay in that stiff run of westerly winds. That means to say it stays unsettled, rain at times, and often very windy.